everyone. I am 21 days post open heart surgery and I'm doing another video. I have so much to talk about. So for this video, I'm only going to talk about actual surgery day and ICU. The rest of it, I will put in another video because I can't film too long. And I don't think anybody wants to sit here and watch an hour-long video about my surgery and the experiences that I've had. So day of surgery, right? We go to admissions. I logged everything in because my sister was updating people. So there was the times on her text. So I know the times that everything has happened. So that was great. So I get to keep track of that. So on the day of surgery, I went to admissions and then they take you back to pre-op. So at 6:15, they took me back to pre-op. They get you ready for the surgery and everything like that. They have to get the IV in. They only put one IV in before open heart surgery. So I was cool about that. They have to, of course, they give you a pregnancy test again if you're a female. They put one IV in. They put all the other IVs in when you get into the actual surgery room and you're out, which is good. So I only had one IV, and then they shave the groin area because they have to put IVs in the groin again. So all this stuff happens, but you don't know it because you're asleep, which is good. So 6:15, I got pulled back to the prep area. At 8:13, my family was there, and I got wheeled to surgery. Now they gave me something to relax me before I went to surgery. I don't remember ever getting into the operating room. I don't remember ever having to go on the table. Nothing. The minute they gave me that stuff to relax me in the pre-op area, my family was standing there, and I remember them standing there, and I must have fell asleep. And after that, I was out. I don't remember anything else. So at 11:46, my family gets an update saying that I was just put on the heart bypass machine. So from 8:13 to 11:46, 8:13 they're probably prepping you and everything in there. But all that time, it took them to actually get through the chest. That's why they call it a reduced sternotomy, because I've had 3 open heart surgeries in the past, but 2 of them were through the chest. So there was a lot of scar tissue and a lot of stuff to go through. And that's why they had to do the CT scan to see where the heart was placed and if they could cut through without cutting into the aorta itself, because my heart's been moved around so much and messed with. But they got through, but they had to go really slow, obviously, and you can't really see what you're doing because there's so much scar tissue and just so much going on in there because I've been cut open 2 other times before in the same area. So they finally get through. I get on the bypass machine. At 2:25, they were done with the surgery. They were closing me up and everything. So by 2:25 p.m., the surgery was finished. They said that they didn't have to shock my heart to get it working again. It just, when they were done, it started working, which was amazing. And then I only had 1 pint of blood. So that was pretty cool. It was like I was ready to get it done. My heart was like, let's just do this thing. Okay, they're done. Let's start working. Come on. We got to get it done. We got to get it over with. So like this whole experience was kind of like that for me. Like I got more nervous the first time around and then they canceled it. But this time around, I think I was just ready. I was like, I just want to get this done. I just want to get it over with. And I just want to be done with it. I want it to be a memory. So okay. So that's fine. And then 11:46, they, was when they had actual surgery and it was done at 2:25. So then I was in ICU all that time. The worst part of this experience, the whole experience, even the pain of healing, the vomiting from some of the pills, the worst part of this experience for me, and it's happened to me every single surgery that I can remember. It happened to me when I was 10 and I was traumatized. Then when I was 17, I said, you have to take it. I told them, I said, you have to take the tube out before I wake up. You have to take the tube out before I wake up. Of course, they didn't take the tube out before I woke up. And when I was 17, it happened to me again, once or twice. This time, it was the worst ever. This time, that breathing tube, the ventilator, was in me for almost 24 hours, for a long time. So I get into ICU and I woke up 5 or 6 times, choking and gagging. So the more, okay, well, let me, when I woke up the first time, I was thinking to myself, because I don't remember being wheeled to the surgery room. So the first time I woke up, I was like, did I have the surgery? Did it happen? Was I supposed to have the surgery? Maybe I was dreaming. Maybe I didn't have to have the surgery. Then all of a sudden, it hit me that there was this tube in my throat. And I was like, oh crap, I had the surgery. Then all of a sudden, I started like choking on it. And I'm like, and the thing about the ventilator or the breathing tube is that the more you panic, the more your throat closes up. So you have to be relaxed, but the more you panic, it's like you cannot breathe. You can't get air in there. So you're like, you're like trying to breathe, but nothing's happening. So you feel like you're choking to death. So the more you panic, I don't know what was happening, if I was throwing up and it was going into the breathing tube, or what was happening, but they had to suction it quite a few times. They were like, let's get the suction, let's get the suction. So I don't know if you're just getting so nervous that, like, I don't know if bile's coming up or if you're throwing up or what happens, but they end up having to suction it out. So this ventilator's still in you. They couldn't take it out because of something with my aspirations or something. And I woke up quite a few times and I was pointing to it. Like, I told my mom, get it out of me, get it out of me. They couldn't get it out. They wouldn't take it out, I mean. So, and then at one point, I think I even tried to rip the thing out and they tied my hands down because I just did not want it in there. And so I remember waking up like 5 or 6 times when this happened. And it's like the worst experience ever. And then they give you medicine to sedate you. But I remember one time it was happening and I was choking. They had to suction it out, and it almost felt like forever for them to give me the medicine. Then finally they gave me the medicine. But at one point I woke up and it feels like it goes down. Like, it feels like there is something here in your lips, but it almost feels like it keeps moving down. But I don't think it does. So at one point when I was awake and I was like kind of holding onto it with my teeth. I don't know if you're allowed to or not, but I just didn't want it to go down there and like me start choking again or something. I don't know if it was in my head or not, but I was like grabbing on with my teeth to the thing that's in your mouth. So I remember asking the girl, because I couldn't speak, and they're asking you questions, and you're like, like, I can't tell you, I can't speak to you. But I remember going like this to her, and she's like, oh, you want to know what time it is? I said, yeah. She said 2 o'clock. She said, oh, a.m. It's 2 a.m. So at 2 a.m. I had still had this breathing tube in me from 11:46 the day before. She kept saying, we're trying to get pulmonary, we can't, they got the okay to take it out, but we have to wait for the pulmonary team. We have to wait for the pulmonary team. At 7:30, they finally took that thing out. So from 11:46 the day before to 7:30 the next day, I had that ventilator breathing tube in me. It was the worst thing ever. That's the thing I hate the most, and I had it the longest this time around. And then when they take it out, it's so funny because the tube is so little, but the thing they put in your mouth is kind of big, like, I don't know. I should look it up to see what it actually looks like. But, they have to intubate you. So like what you see in these ER shows when like they have to put the thing in there and then they put the tube down it, the little hose down it or whatever the heck it is. It's not that big of a tube, but the thing they put in you to intubate you is probably what you're choking on. I don't know. I have a bad gag reflex, so it's like the worst experience for me. After that, like when you're in ICU, I was in ICU for about 2 days. They try to get you up. So they actually were getting me up walking. I had to get up to pee at the commode in ICU. They sat me up to sit in the chair. None of it really hurt that bad because I was on heavy pain meds. So like when you're on the IV pain meds, you're good to go. I think when I was 17, I had morphine. I don't know what they were giving me this time, but it was good because I wasn't feeling any pain. But the minute they move you to the room is when the pain starts. So we can talk all about the room, and I was in the hospital for 12 days. The reason I was in the hospital for 12 days was because the Coumadin levels were not right, and you have to have 2 consecutive days of the Coumadin levels being right. But I probably would have had a 6-day, 7-day stay, but it ended up being 12 days because my levels just could not get right. So that's all going to be in another video. But this video was about the surgery process itself and then in ICU. So in ICU, a lot of people came to visit me. I was very swollen the first day with all the tubes and the ventilator. I think I scared my nephew. But it was an experience. I saw pictures. I had somebody take a picture of me. Actually, let's see. So I probably shouldn't show you this because it's kind of personal. But I was so swollen and so bloated. And this is kind of what you look like. I don't know if you can see it. That's what you look like when you come out of surgery. That right there with all the tubes hooked up to you and all the wires. And this is, there's a hole, it's massive. The amount of wires that they have, I don't know if you could see it, but there's a ton of wires and machines. And honestly, I don't even know what half of them would mean, and I can't believe people know what it means, all these different wires and tubes and stuff. It's amazing. And so I was so bloated and swollen. My arm was swollen and everything was swollen. And then because of the Coumadin, I don't know if it was because of the Coumadin or not, but I had these giant bruises all over me. It was like I had gotten hit by a bus, really. So that was what I looked like. And then as the times went on, I got slowly better, and I started to feel more like myself. And I had, like, from whatever they had in my neck, I had scars and whatever from that. I had 4 chest tubes this time. When I was 2, I had 1 chest tube scar. When I was 10, I had 1 chest tube scar. When I was 17, I had 2 chest tube scars. This time I have 4 chest tube scars. And they went, right over the other one. It looks like a thinner scar on top of the thick scar I already had there. But yeah, 4 chest tube scars this time. But so I had you have everything in you, and then you have like a pacer wire, and eventually, like, they took a lot of those out. Like, they took, I don't know if they took like 1 or 2 chest tube scars out before I went to the room. I don't know. They took a couple things out. They took the thing out of my neck when I was in ICU, and then I remember, like, within the next few days, I had like all the wires taken out, so I was good to go. And then I was just recovering and healing. But that was my experience in ICU, and they were so nice in ICU. Like, those nurses were on it. Like, you had one-on-one care. They were tentative. They were like, they took care of you, like, the minute something was wrong, they were right there. In the room, yeah, okay, it's a little different, but we can get into all that. But in ICU, they're like completely on it, and they're watching everything. And I thank those nurses from the bottom of my heart. My surgeon, like, I am just in awe of every single one of them, and, like, the people who put themselves out there to take care of other people and to just help them. And those are really amazing people. They're angels, and I'm pretty lucky that I had so many of them. And I'm not gonna cry in this video because I don't want to get emotional, but I was very emotional, and that's gonna go in the other video too. Like, I had quite a few days of, like, emotional days, but yeah, I'm doing pretty darn good right now. I have some follow-up appointments coming up, and but I'm getting better and better every day, and I just keep, doing what I'm supposed to do and trying not to overdo it. It's hard when you have that let's go 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 attitude, but it's hard to not overdo it. But yeah, so I'm doing pretty darn good right now, and I did pretty good in the hospital too. So this was my video about the surgery itself and about ICU. I don't know if I forgot anything. I probably did. I'm trying to see. I don't know. I might have forgotten quite a few key essential things, but if I remember, I'll put them in another video. The whole thing is painful and it hurts, but the most traumatizing is that stupid ventilator and breathing tube. For me, is the most traumatizing. Everything else, it's painful, but pain goes away, and you heal, and I'm just really, really lucky that I have something that I'm able to heal from, and that's not fatal, and that is not, something that you can't recover from. So I'm pretty blessed in that aspect. And I had all my family around me and my friends, and they were there for me, and they stayed in the hotel next to the, when they were younger, they got to stay in the Ronald McDonald House, but we didn't get to use the Ronald McDonald House now because they're too old. I'm not a kid anymore. So they paid for a hotel and paid for all those days for the hotel, and just to be near me and just to make sure that I was okay and to be with me. And I'm really blessed to have that. And I love my family so much, and they are the best people that you can ever imagine. And I'm very blessed to have that kind of support. And I've always had that kind of support, and I'm a pretty lucky girl. And I'm pretty lucky to be here right now. So I'm gonna post another video, and I'm gonna tell you all about my hospital stay, but I just wanted to post and tell you about the surgery day and ICU. So I hope you like this video, and I hope if you're gonna have open heart surgery, maybe you're gonna get a little scared about the ventilator and whatnot, but if you don't panic, you should be okay. Just try to stay calm and focus on the breathing and just staying calm, and if you don't panic, it won't close up so much. But other than that, you could do it, I mean, you don't realize how strong you are until you're pushed to the limit, and then you know your own strength. So thank you for watching my videos, and I hope you enjoy them, and I hope you've learned a little something, and look forward to the next ones. Thank you. Bye.